Hello, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to Missed Calls with the Former Randoms. Would I lie to you? I'm MissiInformation. I am your usual co-host here on Missed Calls with the Former Randoms. That is true. And in the 1990s, I did wet work for Chevron in Angola. That's a lie. And I am very excited to be here tonight. That is true, as far as you know. I'm very excited. We have a wonderful panel here to play games with you tonight. Our contestants are going to be reading out statements, and it's up to the opposing teams to decide if what they are hearing is the truth or an outright lie. An audience, it's also your job to separate fact from fiction. So let's introduce our panel for tonight. He is here every week. He is small and yellow. That rings a bell. Tonight, is he telling the truth, or is he it's Phoney!
Hello, it's me, Phoney.
Welcome, Phoney! How are
Hi.
you, one of our team captains this evening?
I am, and I'm connecting to you all via a 56K modem.
Ooh, you should be then receiving the information loud and clearly. Our next team captain is our other co-host. My co-host on Miss Calls with the Former Randoms. He's a classical music fanatic, but is this an overture for deceit tonight? It's blogthoven. Welcome, Blog.
Hello. I was very confused because I could have sworn I was about to be introduced without those last descriptors.
Exactly. This is where everything becomes blur. The gray starts to be here.
I am wearing my most deceitful shirt tonight.
Ooh. Exactly. Just pretend it's a Grogismo.
You know,
pretend.
It's not really, but we'll pretend it's a Grogismo.
If you squint hard enough.
Kind of looks like it.
I love it. Well, let's introduce the rest of the teams. On Blog's team tonight, she performs late night catechism Saturdays at the Greenhouse Theater in Chicago. Will she prove herself to be Would I Lie to You, Iago? Welcome to Missed Calls. It's Erin. Hello, Erin.
Hi. Hello.
Oh, I'm so excited for you to be here.
I'm excited to be here. I'm wearing my my shirt that reminds me that I'm a middle-aged white lady. It just says manifest on it.
Manifestation are just lies we tell ourselves until they're truths.
That's right.
Oh, on Blog's team, the other panelist, she has us dining out of the palm of her hand when she's deep space whining, but can she also lightning? Give it up for StephGerm.
Hi.
Wait,
I'm on Blog's team?
Yeah.
Heck yes, you
I
are.
have so the Grogismo shirt is right over there. I just did
Nice.
laundry and it's folded over there. And I was
I
like,
also have something right over there.
I was wondering if I had time to go grab it, and I'm glad I didn't because I probably wouldn't have been back. And then there would have just been an empty chair.
Yes, number one Tom Paris fan.
True.
Oh, welcome, Nutty.
Aww. I have a Barbie cup. Can't really see it because the ring light protects it.
Now, Team A for awesome. What do you think your chances are of being able to spot truths and fiction amongst the other team?
Great.
I think that was there a lie I possibly detected there? No.
Yeah, maybe.
I shouldn't be. Well, I guess I'm not sure if I should be truthful or not. That's part of the game.
Ooh.
So in that case, I think I'm going to be really good at this.
There we are. Well, let's introduce that team that you will be playing against. Our first teammate with Phoney. They're a sensitive artist type who is feuding with Bad Bunny, but would he lie to up his hype for absolute zero money? It's Things from the Void. Welcome, Things.
If we're showing shirts, this is mine. It has a wiener dog on it.
Oh,
Whoa.
my word.
And my cup has some stickers.
Hell yeah.
I think we've done everything now.
Speaking of stickers, look at this, what came interdimensionally through the mail. interdimensional trivia.
Let me
or
see if I can
else.
scan that QR code. Hold on. Bring that back up.
Bring it back up.
Okay.
So yeah, let's scan that code.
It's fuzzy. I need to get it in there.
Yeah, I can't see it.
Dang.
There we go. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Look at that.
Whoa.
Scan it so you can get to the place that you are right now.
I was able to scan it.
Hell yes.
All right, I'm in.
You're in. And speaking of in, let's get our last player in here. Her VTuber is a possessed nun who hails from the Chantry of Woes. But could they be lying about something really gross? Please welcome Vronnyka.
Hi, it's me.
Hello, hello.
I don't have a cool shirt. I'm just wearing a potato sack. So here's my
Pretty good.
brown sack here.
Pretty good.
Good. It's very comfortable.
All right. Team B, what is your
We're Team
chances?
Phoney.
Team Phoney. Oh,
Team
excuse me. Team
Phoney,
Isom
yeah.
and Team Phoney. Team Phoney, what do you think your chances are of being able to suss out reality or fiction?
I
mean,
can
if-
sniff out a lie. It's like a second sense in addition to hearing.
I mean, that's great to hear from a captain, but I'm just saying if Erin's confidence lie going in is any sign, I think we're going to be good.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, we got Blingy in here? Let's go.
We have, there's all sorts of bumpers and things that you don't even know about. Let's think also at the top, the person that helped and is in the background controlling it. Argyle LG, thank you so much for producing. I'm really excited. And in fact, why don't we get our first statement ready for tonight, players? Are you ready? Do you have any other questions before we dive in?
I think we'll see it as we go.
Here we go. Okay. Well, we'll read out this so that everyone is on the same page. These are the rules that everyone was provided beforehand. Would I lie to you? The players will read out a statement about themselves. They will have no idea until they read it live during the show, whether they'll be reading one of their submitted truths or a filthy lie we just made up. The opposing team will have a few minutes to ask questions and discuss amongst themselves if they think the statement was true or a lie. If the team is split, the captain gets the deciding vote. If they guess right, they get a point, and if they guess wrong, the other gets the point. And they'll be playing for the most ultimate prize tonight, pride and a sense of accomplishment. All right. Now, the way that we'll be finding these truths and lies out is that they will be in a beautiful banner that will be here for us. And again, as a reminder, none of us, including myself, know if these are truths or lies or even what the statements will be. We are...
What?
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 That was incredible.
We're starting off with me? Well, this is a chance for both of you teams to get your investigatory abilities out by drilling me on a statement and if it is true or false. You will both, after our time, be able to take a guess, and if you are correct on whether or not I am telling you a true story from my life or a lie that was made up beforehand, you will earn yourself a point. And if you're wrong, the other team can earn a point. So there's a chance that one team could get 2 points off the bat here if everything lines up. I am so nervous, everybody. This is exciting. All right. Whenever you are ready, the Argyle. I am wonderful now, but as a child, I once made a babysitter quit babysitting entirely. This is the statement that I've made. Now, teams, some time to ask questions. So the first question that anyone has for me, I'm ready.
Was it a like mid-shift quitting, or was it after the fact?
It was a situation where the individual required backup during the babysitting endeavor. They had to call their mother to come help with the situation because it escalated to a point where that poor girl was not able to handle. And I can understand why. When you are a child who has ADHD and OCD and is undiagnosed, you just like are a little bit crosswired when you have a babysitter that for some reason you're just nervous about.
Somehow I can just like see this as a complete truth because also as a child of ADHD, I also did this. So it's very hard for me to even ask a question.
You're just reliving things. You're like, oh, I'm
I
just thinking
just heard, I'm like,
of your own babysitting. Yeah, I'm sure we
what
all
am
have
I?
some horror stories, some more than others. One time we had a babysitter that spun my sister around, and it popped her elbow out. That is true. And these things just sometimes happen.
It's very hard for me to ask a question because
How old were you at the time?
Yeah, how old were you?
Yeah.
I would have been young enough that my memory of this is mostly from the retelling of the story of what happened. I probably would have been 4 or 5 or 6, somewhere in there. I had like meltdowns, up until I was old enough to quote not have meltdowns again. Now we know they're panic attacks. But yeah, so I was a child where screaming, flailing, not throwing things around like at people, but it might just be like out of frustration, just being like on the floor kind of stuff. But otherwise an imaginative, fun kid. It's just when things went wrong, they would go horribly wrong.
How old was the babysitter? Is this like a teen, an elderly person?
It probably would have been a young teen, someone not too much older. Could have been as young as 3rd, 4th grade. But I imagine could have also been 5th grade. But yeah, not like a teen or an adult. Someone that was
family
also
friend.
So we're
Wait,
talking
a third
someone.
grader?
I believe it was someone through church. It could have been church or homeschooling. I'm not sure which connection it was. I think it was both, actually.
What was their first name?
Oh, I do not know. This was way too long ago for me to know their name. This babysitter is just sort of an archetype figure that lives in this epic story that was retold in my life about how the one time that Missy made a babysitter quit babysitting.
So it was a child that you terrified.
Yes, which so it's understandable why they just did not feel ill equipped to do it. But again, such a overwhelming ordeal. And from the one child, it was not any of my siblings. I have an older brother and a younger sister. That is true. And they were just like knew better. In fact, I'm sure they tried to help calm me down. But it's one of those things that it also involved like, the taking away of like a privilege. So, we were going to have sherbet that night. So like we all got like bowls of sherbet and I was told I had to behave. Something earlier in the evening had happened that caused, my parents to basically put me on ice. So I didn't get it. When I was told I couldn't have it, I screamed and I threw a bowl with sherbet on the floor. So the bowl shattered and the sherbet fell. And that is the moment when the babysitter was like, I need to call him back up and have their mom come. Because, this was also in the 90s, so cell phones weren't a thing. So once my parents were gone, they were kind of gone,
Ah, what a golden age.
Yeah.
Rotaries everywhere.
I think we've been wrong to put our guesses in.
Oh,
Have we? Oh, already? Oh my. Well, I will tell you this additional piece of information for free. I don't know, I may be bullshitting you. I may just find it interesting or not. What happened earlier in the evening was when my parents left, they were going down the road and then they saw in the rearview mirror a child that was running down the street and they're like, oh, a child, like, oh no, our child. So they already had to stop and turn around and pull up and like get me situated because I had run out the door screaming, going around the block, being like, no, don't go. So they had to get me calmed down first before they got set off again. So I think the babysitter was also just sort of like, oh, we're already starting with a little bit of a terror here, and we're going from that. So yes, yeah, perfect. So yes, teams, you may all have a moment here to discuss whether or not you think it is true. Since we have a group here, I will do it in a bit of an order. Let's start with Vronnyka. You said you had childhood experiences that you could relate to. Do you think this is the truth or a lie? And you're not locking in right now. Your team captains will lock in the official guesses, but this is just your thoughts, your opinions. What about the story might be plausible? What sounds like bullshit?
Personally, also as someone that had some wild outbursts as a child and still do as a full-on adult, there's no way that they had another child watch a child, even in the 90s. Like, not at all. I don't think that there would have been someone that you said it was like 3rd, 4th, 5th grade. No way. This is the Babysitters Club existed, but they were at least 12 and 13.
And this person, I say, plausibly could have been 12 or 13.
Okay.
I truly, but I'm.
And
this
they
is
were
my
junior members.
This
of
is
the
my
BSC.
doodle memory of someone.
The
But you
junior
know,
members
like
were 8 to 10.
it genuinely could have been someone as young as 10 or 11 because my oldest brother would have been 7 and my sister like 3 if I was 5. You know, if I was even a little bit younger,
If it
I'm
was
just basing it off
so
of
if
when I
you're
knew
saying
I
it was like a
moved.
church thing, I can see that. That's a plausible thing. I can see that, but I'm gonna say probably about 80% going for lie personally.
Okay, so then we will bounce to someone on the other team. Steph, let's get your opinion.
I lean towards lie. I just think you're just too wonderful and nice a person. I just don't buy it at all. I have a hard time with it. I know
Thank
people
you.
change, but
Aw.
it's reading as false to me.
Okay. Void, how about you?
I don't think anyone would willingly waste sherbet, so it's got to be a lie.
Okay. Erin.
I'm gonna also go lie because it felt like we sort of started off in like an almost like legalese kind of telling, and then like got more specific every time we went back. So yeah, that's gonna be my pick.
Okay. So those are the opinions of the teams. Phoney, what do you think?
I'm leaning with my team on the it's a lie
Okay.
front.
Perfect. Blogthoven, what do you think? Oh, we have a
I'm
guest
gonna
star.
go against. No, I'm just kidding. I totally agree with my team. I also I felt I was really confused by the story because I feel like we were getting information like in the middle and then it went back and then went forward a little bit. So I feel like I also don't know if that's part of the game. If you're supposed to tell stories in ways that could confuse people. So I don't know if it's that, but I'm gonna say it's a lie because I was too confused.
Okay.
Also, let me see that cat.
That's the cat. This is Dr. President.
Oh,
aka
I love you,
Finland.
Dr. President.
Dr. President
Wow.
Finland, our kid, and he, this is true. Last week had his fixing because have your pet spayed and neutered, and he got to then be able to today have unsupervised outdoor time with his older brother, and he did so well. Not only did he go out and not get in trouble, he came in unprovoked. I opened the door and came right on in, so he knows he had a big boy development today. That is all true. Now,
Wow,
is
unsupervised outdoor time, just like when he ran
Yes.
outside.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So now is. That story was 100%
Oh,
true.
wow.
Every detail was true. My parents driving off is true. Me running over untrue. I had freakouts. It's true. I just was
You
pill.
monster.
I was.
Sherbert.
Oh yes. This is true information. I'll also drop for free. Truth bomb. The reason my parents didn't have any more kids after my sister was it said, "Oh, you were so much of a pill and hard to handle that we could not imagine having any other kids after all that." And I was like, "I'm the reason I don't have any more siblings." Like, oh my god! I told this in college. It's not like they told me as a child or something that made me laugh. So no, genuinely true. I have other stories of getting in trouble like that, but yeah, I did. Thank you. I have grown into a general nice person. I always wanted to be nice. I just you're a kid and those impulses, that ADHD just takes over and you're like, I know I'm not supposed to, but I'm doing it. So yeah.
Does chat get points?
But the sherbet.
Chat should get points. And yes, I genuinely did not remember the person's name. That was not me playing at details. It really was so long ago that I just remember it happening, but not enough for it to be like and when Carol came over and her mom Nancy, it was like, whatever.
When you said they could be third grade was when I was like, I think this isn't true.
I think genuinely they might have been that young. I think that was part of the issue too, because they expected just not to have any issue and so whatever. That's what I said. 3rd to 5th grade is the range. They were not a teenager, from my memory. It was someone that was that young. Yeah, that's again church people. They felt comfortable having people watch. Only a few years older. It was the 90s. It was different.
It's like My Sister, My Sitter all over again.
Yes, it is 0-0. Now that you've seen it's done, we are now going to be going on to our first team one. So one person from one of the two teams, either Team Phoney or Team Awesome, is going to read a statement off. The other team is then going to ask questions and get a chance to guess whether it is true or a lie. Their teammates may chime in if they wish to comment on the story, but it is, again, up to the other team to dissect the information of whether it is true or a lie. So here we go. The first person that's coming up from the teams is blogthoven. Okay. So you should be seeing here in a moment, along with the rest of us, a statement at a banner on the bottom. I would like you to read that statement off.
Okay, here we go. I have been featured as a U.S. American in an international news story.
Ooh. All right. Now the opposing team, Team Phoney, it is your job to ask questions of Blog to find out what that news story was.
What publication?
Great question.
Number on the bullet.
It was an international news story. So it was in China, actually. And so it was on China TV, one of those China channels.
Mm-hmm.
Where were you filmed for this?
This was at my high school. They were doing a story about my high school because there's always something to talk about.
What were they talking about?
Yeah.
As you know, I went to high school with Bob Costa
And Zach Woods.
And Zach Woods. So this was for Robert Costa.
These are truths that have been established on canon on this call, which is why Phoney is laughing.
Yeah. And so so he very early kind of was already kind of making motions to get kind of seen in the world. And they did a story about him because our prom was the #1 prom in the country that year. It was voted #1 prom in the country.
#1 in general, or
like top, like best prom? Best prom
by who?
USA Today, I believe, is there that official publication.
USA Today is not very international, is it?
No, but because it was this big story about the prom, they featured it as like this international program, like for Voices of America. So they were kind of showing.
USA Today is a newspaper too.
Well, no, that was the story about the prom being #1, but because the prom was #1, they there are different news networks who are filming actually my prom. So they kind of showed getting ready for the prom and going to the prom, and we have this tradition where people show up in the craziest vehicle that they can think of, and so they show you in the video. They quickly show you a bunch of those vehicles, and I'm one of those participants in the prom going to the prom.
Okay, well, what's your vehicle?
What'd you drive?
So, I figured it would be really funny if you could take like a box. So we took like a box. It was like a refrigerator box, and we made it to look like a car. And so it's actually us holding the car and walking it over, as if it was a vehicle, like like Flintstone style.
Yeah.
So USA Today did a feature about your prom with the wacky vehicles. This is wacky races at prom.
Yeah. That's what made it number one.
And then China TV with no name made a feature about wacky races at prom.
And you maintained the vehicle long enough for it to get voted on by the newspaper and then have Chinese reporters cover
I'll
it.
help clear it up. The order of events.
Okay.
So USA Today had released, and I'll include some extra ones, released that a list of proms, and my high school was voted number one prom.
Mm-hmm.
They actually wrote a book about students on that year to prom, which features Robert Costa and Zach Woods in it as people who are getting ready for the prom. And this was for the year before me, for 2003. So then for 2004, and in the book, Robert Costa goes on to say how he really was trying to get John Mayer to show up at our prom. And so he got it. And the day of the prom, we were surprised that John Mayer was there.
Your high school is a wonderland.
And my high school was a wonderland. And it was a big enough story that this international news story, which I at least aired in China, it might have aired in other places, they covered it. And so people in different countries around the world would have learned about my high school's prom, and they would have gotten to see me in that clip.
So really, they're focusing on John Mayer going to a high school, and then you happen to be in the background.
I happen to be there. Yeah, that's kind of where that's kind of the situation we're at here.
John Mayer was the big guy, and then you
were
in the background
a little
with
bit,
like your little
a little
Flintstone
bit
car.
I think equally though. I think people were amazed by both things.
Okay.
Was it a sister city war situation?
Maybe, and actually, it might be because we, my brother was in high school. The marching band went to China, so I think that was part of it. That they kind of had that relationship already. It could be just coincidence, but China is definitely involved in both of them.
Was it? Sorry, can I pass in one more question from the chat?
Yes.
Was it mainland China, Hong Kong, Taiwan? Where specifically?
Where's China TV stationed?
Yeah.
So I'm not familiar because I didn't watch it when it was on the TV in China. So I only became aware of this more recently, actually. And so I've had no idea for almost 20 years that that people around the world could have seen me in this international news story.
And just, again, without knowing whether it's a truth or a lie, I will say these things happen. I had Chinese media here at my house because of the Iowa caucuses, and because our governor was the ambassador to former ambassador to China and everything like that. So these things do happen. Again, we have no idea whether or not it happened to blog or not.
I mean, you're vouching for China TV.
I didn't get the name of it either. I do not know where, but somewhere out there, there's footage of me in a room with Elizabeth Warren, and someone from Chinese media wrote up on it and filmed it. So again, that's just my story. No idea that's bunk or not. It is just these things, random things do sometimes happen. Now, team, we do need to get your answers locked in here. Right. So let's start with Void this time.
I think there's some truth, like couching a greater lie. I know some of these details to be true because I've seen footage of some things, but like I don't think the whole story is true. I don't know the China TV detail. I think if he recently found out about it, we would have already heard about it and we would have seen the clip. So I think it's a lie.
I'm gonna go with Void because I don't really know the whole situation and story. I can see American tradition being shown in Asian TV of being like, wow, look what the Americans are doing. How kooky. I can see that because I've seen it in Korean TV, but as far as the entirety of the story, I'm gonna have to go with Void. It's probably a little bit of truth, but definitely a lie.
All right, Phoney, your thoughts and your decision.
Team B, I think Team B is spoken. You know, if there was a more even divide, perhaps I would go against my team. But like, I think that they're kind of on the whatever idiom I'm trying to finish, with it being a mix of truth and lies.
They've dialed in,
but ultimately a lie.
Okay, so. This is a true story! Oh my god, we have footage!
有人开船
China TV
有人踩着踏板车 有人骑马
Where's Vlog?
游行队
We better get a yellow circle.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
我们用洗澡盆当交通工具，我们相信没有别人有过这样独特的
I felt like I heard some details of the prom, but then it escalated with John Mayer. Things about like, what is happening?
John Mayer was true. I didn't know the China TV was true.
Look, there it is!
Oh, wow!
Wow!
I didn't realize anywhere went this big with prom.
Wow!
Oh my god.
That's incredible!
That's incredible!
For the record, I believe
That's
you
incredible.
I'm so glad to have been wrong.
The word feature was doing generous work with that.
Can I ask
truth.
a question since we're all here?
Yeah, absolutely.
So just using Blog's example just now, the story was true, but if any of the clarifying answers he gave, can they be lies?
No.
No?
You need to provide, and for instance, my detail. I could have lied and made up the names of the people within it, but I was truthful and said I don't remember.
No.
So you do need to be true.
So all that shit about John Mayer, that was all.
I knew John Mayer part was true.
That's part of it. Argyle, do you have any more of that clip we can show? We can spend another time watching, but that clip, if you watch it, it starts with Robert Costa going to pick up his date for the prom, and I'm right there, and then me in the middle, and then the
安
end
排了
part
戏
is,
剧性的出场秀。
We gotta put yakety sax on that clip.
We do.
But it is. But what is actually very truthful is, so I did only discover this recently. This video existed because it is approaching my high school's 20th anniversary, and there's like this Instagram for a reunion for it, and that video was posted, and I was like, oh my god, I had no idea this existed. I remember it being a news event and the dang pictures, and I think I remember the people who actually were asked to videotape me doing that. I had no idea it actually existed. And I do not think I knew of this Visions of America, which is the programming it was called until a few months ago. And actually, what's funny about, I was glad that Void mentioned that we would have seen this before, but I discovered a few months ago, and I immediately messaged Phoney and Missy and said, oh my god, I've got like this golden thing we have to show. And then I was like, well, I'll wait for it to be more organically to show up. And then tonight was
perfect opportunity.
Perfect
opportunity.
Sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. That means you get a team point for Team Awesome. Congratulations, blog, on that. We're not going to move on.
I really like the idea that there's like a million kids that saw that in China and are like, that's what American prom is.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, this is how everyone does this.
Very
I wonder
misleading.
how it's doing on TikTok.
Oh.
Oh my
Speaking
word.
of China news.
Hey,
circle.
our perfect transition. We are going to be having our next contestant be reading from it. They themselves are a piece of media.
It's true.
Phoney.
RFM intern Forrest once created a highly detailed replica of his hometown from recycled and found materials.
All right, Phoney is repeating a fact about Radio Free Multiverse intern Forrest.
Yeah.
He will provide the true information, channeling Forrest.
Yeah, he's on the line telling me the truths.
Yes,
or
exactly.
lies.
So, questions may now be asked of...
Why is hometown in quotes?
Yeah, that was my question too.
Well, because you see, there's the character versus the person, and so it's the character's hometown versus the person's hometown.
Oh, this is confusing.
Yeah, I totally follow that.
But I believe Phoney is on the phone with.
Yeah, they're calling me in.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll just start using first person I'll just directly relate what they're saying.
Yeah, channel.
So
There
it's
we go.
it's RFM intern Forest's hometown, not necessarily my hometown.
And what is that hometown?
Doc.
Wouldn't you like to know? I'm not going to dox myself.
That's fair.
And
Very fair.
what's the name of your first pet?
You know, wanna-
What is your social security number?
that was like
What were some of the features of your town that you put into? You can't dox yourself, but what were some of the things that you included in your model?
A big a biosphere made out of the gotcha balls that you can get out of little machines where you put a quarter in and turn it. Flip one of those right upside down, put it over some small little miniatures, you got a biodome.
What was the size and scope of this replica?
Oh, I mean, it was like a sheet of poster board
Oh,
as the base, like a big sheet, I'm bad with sizes, but the size that you'd use at the science fair to show off what you did,
sure.
but flipped on its back and then with some stuff on it.
Was this for a science fair?
No.
Oh.
Was there a purpose for this project, or was it just a hobby?
Hobby. Very much the hobby.
How long did this take you to make?
3 months?
And when we say, was it it's gone now? Exquisitely the replica. How fine is it? What is it? Why does it say it's very specific? What level of details did you actually go into?
Well, how much did I think I went into, or how much should I, in hindsight, go into? Because those aren't necessarily the same thing.
How much did Radio Free Multiverse intern Forrest detail this hometown question?
It was highly detailed. I painted
Highly
little signs and everything for the businesses there, and it was detailed.
Very detailed. So are we talking? Are there also street, little street signs and and names for streets or?
Oh no, that's so highly. That's what we call super high detail, not high detail.
Okay, got it. Okay.
So when you set out on this project,
yeah,
what was the intended goal? What was going to be sort of the big ta-da at the end?
I was wanting to really flesh out my role playing forums that I was on. I wanted to have a visualization of the character I could play.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, it says in your statement that you used recycled materials. What were some of the recycled materials that you
Well, I already
used?
mentioned the upside down gotcha ball.
That is true.
But also, computer parts can make some good detailings for buildings, little greeblies and stuff. Milk carton, good base for a building. Little Hot Wheels cars that I had could drive down the streets. Cans.
How
and more. Those are just a sample.
Equating it to Doc Brown's reconstruction, how similar are those to each other?
I mean, I can't rival Christopher Lloyd. I think Doc Brown's is better. Mine didn't.
But
if I were stuck back in the past, I wouldn't use mine to simulate how I would get home.
than yours.
His is more detailed for sure, and has more moving parts.
I'm really just figuring out the details is really the level that I'm focused on here.
Right? No, definitely not as good as anything that's been in a Zemeckis movie.
So like moderately detailed, maybe.
It's also not as good as what Steve Carell did in that movie where he had all those dolls.
Which, why would you do a movie about that when there's already a documentary about the person? Sorry, that's something that drives me crazy.
Guys, I missed a little bit.
That's fine. So,
how old were you when you made this?
Good question.
It was like 12 years ago.
12 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
You're confusing us more because well, then this is going to dox you now. But then, how old were you when this happened?
The easier math felt like doing the year math. I would be 23. 23 then? Yeah.
Okay.
When I had time to dedicate to something like this.
Yeah. So, it's interesting that you said, because you said it was like a school project, but then it was nowhere close to being.
No. That was just the materials reference.
Just a descriptor for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to quickly rearrange us into our teams because
thank God.
asking.
Aw, I didn't think Connor's there anymore.
I should have done this earlier. There we go.
Oh, there we go. That's right.
Freeze on camera.
Well, that works out well. I wish we had 2 more people and could just be the full Brady Bunch.
Oh, I see what you did. Yeah, that works.
That works out well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice and orderly.
Great job, Missy.
Any further questions for Phoney on their hometown recycled project?
Well, for Forrest through Phoney.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we got it.
I'm the captain, so I guess I'll go last. So
yeah, you're the captain now.
I don't think I have any more questions.
Did anybody ask what the materials were? I did miss a little bit.
Yeah, and I said like milk cartons. There were some cans involved, little computer parts as greeblies for like the sides of the buildings and stuff.
Upside down gotcha caps.
Yeah, upside down gotcha caps for a biodome.
Yeah,
because I played a lot of SimCity 2000, so that sort of like enclosed biodome space was really cool.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
One question from the chat we'll see. Does Forrest still have it? You say no.
No.
Okay.
We have all truth so far, right? So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say lie just because of that. I'm just playing.
That's sort of where I am at too.
Oh, I'm gonna go against my own judgment because I heard this and I immediately thought that sounds right. Like that sounds like something that Taurus is. But since both of my team have said false, I'm gonna go with them and we're gonna say that it's a lie.
That was a lie. Congratulations, you were correct.
The age killed it.
The age killed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what I thought that was part of the playing it up. Like, 12 years ago.
That was what I knew. I was cooked.
Yes, and as was correctly
believe it more because I was like, he's trying to make us doubt him somehow by being confused by what age he should have been.
As it was correctly pointed out inadvertently earlier by StephGerm, that is, of course, what happens in the movie Beetlejuice. A replica from Damien. So yes, that is the lie. There we go, right there with Beetlejuice coming out.
I only thought of Back to the Future because there's no way it would be as detailed as the one Beetlejuice.
Yes, it's perfect. So the score is now 2-0. So we're gonna give a chance for both teams now to earn a point. I believe we're in. Oh no, actually, I apologize. We're actually gonna go back to Team A for our next statement, and that statement is coming from none other than StephGerm.
Hope it'll freeze.
Okay, here we go.
On January 13th, 2007, I was hospitalized for what turned out to be mild carbon monoxide poisoning.
There it is, a scary truth that is out there. Team Phoney, you are now allowed to ask questions of Steph about this incident.
I mean, I need symptoms. How'd you end up getting hospitalized?
I actually didn't have any symptoms. I was at a relative's house and like was just visiting, and my relative was like, we had work done on the furnace earlier today, and like the dog's been acting kind of funny. Like the dog had symptoms, and they were like, "Do you think it could be carbon monoxide?" And I didn't even know what that was because I don't know. I didn't know. I had heard that was a thing, and like that some people had died of it, and that like, well, I don't know. But anyway, my one relative who was like a younger child, like after that conversation, started throwing up and like kind of like wobbling, and we were like, oh my god, like that is what's happening. So we called like the ambulance, and they all got scattered to different hospitals, and they were like, I forget how they test for that, but they were like, you had some exposure, so you have to like get treated, but like it's not that big of a deal. It's mild.
What was the difference? I'm concerned about the mild part of it. I feel like carbon monoxide poisoning at any single level would be significant. Yes.
Well, I think significant. I actually don't know what significant symptoms there are. I think you just eventually go to sleep and die is the significant.
Yes.
If you continue to stay exposed to it, like how they say, like, don't leave a car running in a garage, for example, like that's your classic carbon monoxide. I don't know what thing got done to the furnace, but messing around with a furnace, that could be carbon monoxide. I will say, like, public service announcement, carbon monoxide detectors, put them in your home because that's pretty easy.
I have one at home because we have gas. That is true.
Yeah, and I have one because on account of the mild carbon monoxide poisoning. There's something, I don't remember what your question was because of my mild carbon monoxide poisoning that happened 17 years ago.
So you didn't have any symptoms.
No.
The dog did.
I mean,
a child did.
Let me say the dog was acting weird. That was
okay. So the dog was acting weird, and then a child threw up later.
Yep.
You didn't have any symptoms at all.
No.
And this was at your parents' house?
No, it was at
or whose house was it?
So
I'm sorry.
It was my aunt and uncle's house.
Okay, so it's
my cousin was the child that threw up.
Okay. But your aunt and uncle had no symptoms whatsoever. They just went, we just worked on the furnace and was totally fine.
So my uncle was actually not there. He was the one who worked on the furnace, and he was gone.
Ooh.
And like for the day. But then the dog was there all day. The dog was kind of stewing in the carbon monoxide juices all day. Aunt and two cousins were hanging out at home for a bit. I came over. Eric was with me, if it matters. You all know Eric. He was there too. We came over, like, because he was going to fix their computer or something. Like, he fixed mine 10 minutes ago. And my aunt was like, dog's acting funny, and do you think this? And then my cousin got sick. So they were there longer than we were, so that's why we're mild. They were more significant. They had it, like, they check it. I forget what they're called now. There's some kind of level they check for, and it's like a numeric thing. And they were like, we were like 8 and 10, and like my aunt and cousins were like in the 20s or 30s or something. And it's like, I don't know, if you hit like some number, you're dead or whatever. I don't know. The details at this point, I completely don't have. I'm not a doctor.
So only one of your two cousins became ill?
She was the one that started throwing up, and then the other cousin, I actually don't remember what he was doing at the time. He was just kind of chilling in the house somewhere. He's a little older. She was the youngest. At that point, she would have been, I can't do math. She was born in 1998, so she was however old that is. 8 or 9.
Interesting, using years to find ages.
It's wild how that works. Yeah, she was the only one that showed symptoms. And to be honest with you, like, not that I know a ton about this or have even researched it in the years since, the throwing up thing to me seemed really odd. I was like, why would that happen? Like, I don't think that would even be a symptom of that. But I was like, well, something's up. So
It is
I
a
called
symptom.
911.
It
I'm
is
the
a
hero.
symptom.
All right. Any last questions for Steph before you make your decision?
So when you went to the hospital, how long were you there?
Okay. So first, well, me personally, or
Mhm.
okay. So we got all split up. Like I went to the hospital. I rode in the ambulance with the cousin who wasn't the one who got sick, the older brother,
Mhm.
and then Eric, my aunt, and the younger one went to a different hospital. And because I myself did not have super, like I was like a low level, they just put me like on an oxygen. Like I literally had an oxygen tank and laid in a bed for like a couple hours maybe. And then I think it was just a couple hours for me and Eric because we were home. I actually don't remember what time this happened, but we were home like that same night where the rest of them had to do like an overnight.
Because of the severity.
Yes.
Okay. And
Okay.
assuming because they were also minors.
Well, my aunt wasn't. She was an
Well, not
adult.
your aunt, not your aunt, but like
It
your
was
cousin.
their levels were so much. The treatment for like a higher level of this is like completely different. Like we were just like,
Okay.
it was one of those things where it's like I don't know. We probably would have been fine. Like I can't imagine it made that much of a difference. But I guess like the oxygen helps flush it out. So they were like, yeah, we're gonna keep you here for a little bit.
All right,
Ooh,
that is our that's our beautiful wrapping it up. That's our beautiful wrapping it up symbol on here. So, Vronnyka, we'll start with you. Your opinion, is this story true or is it a lie? What are you thinking?
So, as someone who actually had to go to a hospital for carbon monoxide poisoning, pretty severe, and I was a child.
Severe, there's no minor there. Severe.
Was somebody messing with the furnace?
No. So I had a gas stove as a child, and I have a gas stove now, and it was leaking.
Yeah,
And I was
happened.
violently ill. I was in the hospital for 3 days. So can I can believe that a minor thing can I can believe I'm laughing about this now because like it's just very wild that this would come up. So I was I think about 6 or 7 years old. I had severe carbon monoxide poisoning because our stove was leaking. And I was by myself, and my parents went grocery shopping because this was the 90s. And they
didn't have a third grader come stop by, make sure you're okay.
So they came home, and I was violently ill.
Oh boy!
You were just home working on your using your recycled materials.
I was just recycled materials on my Barbies. So I can totally believe like a child would be much more susceptible because we're kids, and if they were there for much longer, yes. Can I believe that you got mild? Probably not.
Interesting swerve there.
You
Interesting
not so
swerve.
Thanks.
Believing it's possibly a lie there. We're getting from Vronnyka.
Yeah.
Things from the void. What are your thoughts?
I was waiting for everything Vronnyka said with the experience because I didn't know a lot of the details of the more minor stuff like that. I don't think that everyone would have to go to the hospital, only people who were showing symptoms, and I don't think that Steph and Eric would have split up in separate ambulances just knowing the cost of an ambulance. That seems a little weird to me. I also think it's just like an oxygen test, right? They could do that on site. So I think it's a lie. Maybe again someone got sick, but I don't think it was quite the whole deal. So I'm going to say lie as well.
Okay, Phoney, you are the decision maker as the captain. What are your thoughts and what's
I'm
your
gonna feel
decision?
bad if it's true.
I mean, hey,
those were also the details that jumped out at me, so we'll all feel bad if it's true because I also think it's a lie.
Okay, we have a consensus on all of these decisions, so you're all going in, as a team in these regards. Well, let's find out if it is a fact or fiction here.
Oh,
True!
Oh, no!
everything is true. The separate ambulances.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Jake Gyllenhaal. Okay, so it was.
Well, I'm
just gonna hide.
gonna hang up the phone.
It was the night that Jake Gyllenhaal.
I'm going to
was
demand
so
answers.
ill.
That was the night.
Yes, and Eric and I were home in time to watch SNL.
I see.
Wow.
I love that incredible detail. Just to put it like on the
Well,
day.
that's how
I love
always
it.
know what day it was.
Yes.
Like
Of
I don't
course.
remember the date. I have to look up when did
All right,
Jake
LG, you're
Gyllenhaal
muted.
go.
You're muted, LG.
I said I wasn't going to come on camera, and then I felt bad. I thought you guys would just lock in on the date and go fake so fast that it would be like the quickest
That's
round.
the perfect thing to put in a lie, though.
So I am so sorry, and I am so glad that you're safe. And I also want to say, daylight savings time is fake, but you know what's not? Checking all your alarms twice a year.
True story.
Yes.
Yes.
Mine yells at me if its battery is low.
If
Amazing.
I had dwelled on the date and brought up the Jake thing, would that have made you more likely to think it was true?
No. So
No.
the date can be very specific, especially if it's like an experience that you don't really have. Or like that in general most people wouldn't have. So you'd be like, yeah, on January 13th, I went hospitalized for mild carbon monoxide poisoning. What a wild time. We went back home to watch SNL. It was amazing.
Also, I wouldn't have chosen to go on different ambulances. I didn't have much say on the matter at all. I was
That's wild.
like, I don't know how old I was, 20? I forget. But
Old enough where you just do whatever you're being told. Yeah.
I also think it really helped that I am terrible at telling stories and recalling details, because it just makes everything I say. The dog was okay. Why would you say that?
Oh, sorry.
Eric said
Well, he
the dog
was
And
not
then
okay.
lived another 10 years.
And
And
then
then
he
lived
lived.
another 10 years.
It was after he was not okay.
Not
The dog's name was Missy, by the way. The dog's name was Missy.
What?
liar out
The
of me.
dog was named Mission.
Hey, everybody was okay. Don't make a liar out of me, Eric Germ.
Everybody was okay. Everybody was okay.
No, Eric meant in the moment the dog wasn't, but long term dog was fine.
I got really nervous that when Vronnyka had said
And I
that
stole it just now.
this happened to me, I was like, oh no, they got crisscrossed, like the wrong person's truth got but then
I felt terrible because it sounds like your experience was much more serious.
It was okay. So I've had a lot of medical maladies in my life, and they're very funny now.
I will say my cousins and my aunt had to spend the night in a hyperbaric chamber. They were so serious.
Like Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah.
But, like,
That's what I thought too.
you were fine. Like,
Well, we're
it's
glad.
really not an interesting
Yes.
story for me. It's more an interesting story for them. Like,
We're glad everyone's fine and everyone is okay.
Yeah.
We are now going to move on to our next segment here. It's a chance for everyone to get some points on both teams. It's another media round here. We're going to go ahead and get one of our telly tales. So telly tales rules, we're going to have a clip from a piece of media that will be played. A fact will then be, from that show or movie, will be read by me. All players will deliberate together, but there is no interrogating this round, and teams will still be voting as a unit to lock in their team answer. Both teams will lock in an answer, true or lie, and it could even be the same one. You can both say true, you can both say lie. You don't have to, compete for posing. In this round, teams could possibly move up or down a point together if they guess the same, or take a big swing and try and go the opposite. I'll try to go up while they go down. There we go. Okay. Here we go. We have some media ready. Are you ready, LG? Here we are.
Checkered flag or crash.
Checkered flag or crash.
Flag or crash. The first story about off-road racing. Check pickups, jeeps, buggies, and bikes in a no-holds-barred chase over 1,000 miles of the world's roughest terrain.
So do me right, you damn machine.
Joe Don Baker as Walkaway Madden. I'm a wrecker. Susan Sarandon as the reporter.
He's got a record.
quitter, you crash.
Alan Vint as Turtle.
I mean, the best race car driver in the world can't carry one of these across the finish line.
Larry Hagman as the promoter.
I do business the way you race cars. Winner crash.
Amazing. All right. So here is the statement. While filming this movie, stars Susan Sarandon and Larry Hagman and some crew took psychotropic mushrooms and dyed Easter eggs together. Is this fact or is it crap? You all may discuss.
I want it to be true.
I feel like it's true just because this is the week of Easter, so I feel like it's a seasonal thing. That's my gut reaction.
And Susan Sarandon. Looks like
I've never considered Susan Sarandon doing drugs. I've never thought about it.
She's definitely.
Oh, for sure. No, she for sure has. I've just never even considered such a thing.
I can totally see her.
I feel like same rules as trivia rules. I feel like immediately I'm like, if it's this bizarre, if it's a very specific and bizarre thing, it's probably true. That's my logic in life.
If you ask me, did a cast member in the Rocky Horror Picture Show take psychotropic mushrooms? I'm gonna say yes.
And some crew.
and Larry Hagman. JR.
Oh, but what if it's that? What if it's
Larry
like
Hagman
Susan did, like what Susan Sarandon did, but not?
Oh yeah, it was someone else offset.
Yeah,
what if it's even more like it wasn't some of the crew, it was all of the crew?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's true.
It wasn't psychotropic mushrooms, it was LSD.
Right.
Yeah, see, these are the questions.
What was the year again? That also might help. What year did it say, or did we get a year?
I do not think we got a year of the.
I mean, you got the trailer.
It was young. It was. You can tell it was younger Susan Sarandon.
But I think it's pretty obvious that this was a very unsafe set, so none of them would have ever done drugs. Obviously, because this was a checkered flag or crash set.
It becomes an anti-drug PSA video.
That's what makes you crash.
Yeah.
No one's gonna convince me this is not true. Like, I will not budge on this.
It sounds like people are fairly locked in here. We're going to go ahead and get a decision, though, from the captains. So, Blog, does your team think this is fact, or do you think this is fiction?
I mean, you heard Steph. She's so convinced that I think that it's a fact.
Okay. And Phoney, same question to you. Do you believe that this is a fact, or do you think this is crap?
I mean, I think we're leaning true.
Okay, we have two truth seekers locked in here, hoping to God that these people tripped their balls off and then had crashes along the set. So let us find out what the answer is.
We have a point.
Okay, it is true.
Look
at this, confirmed by Susan Sarandon herself. Look at
some
incredible.
Crew members.
This is amazing. Oh, what a perfect
My only fear
confirmation.
was it was going to be a different drug.
I was worried it wasn't going to be Larry Hagman.
No, Larry Hags is. I knew it.
We all wanted it in our hearts to be true, and it was. Sometimes reality matches up with what our hearts desire. That is a point to each team.
Who dosed JR?
He dosed himself. We are now going to move on to our next statement, and it's going to be read by. Oh. Okay, we're doing another one where both teams have a chance to score a point here. So, here is my thing. Missy's Mysteries. I once received a text from Senator Raphael Edward, aka Ted Cruz. Now, teams, you have a chance to discuss whether or not
Personally,
this is fact or this is crap.
Yeah, like one of those ones asking for money. Or...
Yeah.
No, not a spam. I mean, literally, this was a text message that was from him that a series of events led to happen.
Was it intended for you?
Yes. This was in, we'll say, a past life.
What?
As it were, before I got the woke mind virus.
Got it.
Okay.
So I guess what year did this happen?
This happened in 2008. This was during the Republican National Caucus. I am from Iowa, and some of you guys may not know, so first in the nation. And so during that year, my family it was very conservative. It still is conservative, but not as conservative. And that year, they were all supporting Mike Huckabee. And so Senator Cruz, I don't believe he was a senator at the time. He might have been like in the state senate, but he was just someone who was working with the Huckabee thing. And there was a church event, which again, a non-political church event that Mike Huckabee happened to show up and be like, I'm just going to church at your big mega church here in the state. And Ted Cruz was part of the entourage, and he came and spoke at our youth group. And this was during like my transition phase. So I would have been a senior in high school who would have been old enough to vote in the next election during that time. And actually we turned 18, so I would have been old enough to vote in that caucus then for it. And so he came to the youth group and he talked and just like, literally just like delivered probably like a 15-minute like mini like little sermon. Just I don't even remember, honestly I don't even remember what the message was because I try and block those things from my brain, but I'm sure it was about like the messages were always like, you need to stand up for the Lord and where you're at, and being a good leader in your schools and in there, and it's a very hard time out there. What it would have sounded like, hey, it would have sounded like we need to get out there and you need to go and like shine for the Lord. You need to shine for the Lord and make sure to be leaders where you're at. And sometimes you're going to get rebuked. You're going to get pushback. You're going to be told, hey, you're not allowed, to be who you are. But you just need to make sure to stand for Jesus and stand tall. Because in the end, that's the right thing. And we would get stuff like this all the time. I remember Duncan Hunter came, if y'all remember. I think he was running at that same one. It was that or 2004. But they were in there. Our church was big enough. There were like right-wing radio hosts that were in the area that came and like on background and stuff. So like it was again the most like what would be the word? Clandestine. The most clandestine sort of political operating. And we would get details of things like, oh, here's the list of where it was, and you can check mark and stuff. I have been talking so much. I should get more questions. I'm so sorry. I just realized
Did he do any of his world famous Simpsons impressions while he was there?
No, because of course conservative Christians didn't like The Simpsons because Bart was a bad influence because he rebelled against the leadership of his parents constantly.
And he said, "Eat my shorts."
Yes, exactly. It was disrespectful to his parents. So I was not allowed to watch The Simpsons growing up, which is a theme of a podcast that I do.
Were you coordinating an event with him? Like, what was he texting you for?
I was groomed for church leadership throughout junior high and high school. So I was like my youth pastor's like right hand person. So I just was like stepping up all the time. So within our whole youth group, he then stopped by a smaller group, which was like a leadership thing. And then it was just like, that was like a 5 minute, because it was like toward the end of church, that was like literally like a 5 minute whatever thing. And it was like, hey, if you need to sign up, it'd be great, and then my youth pastor, I guess, gave them more details. And it was literally just hey, I almost said my real name. Hey, Missy, nice to meet you. I hope, you said, I heard you like politics and being politically involved. That's great. We hope, that you go on there. and I just remembered. I essentially responded okay, thanks, but more of like a thank you very much. It was nice to meet you too, sort of thing. Because because the secret thing is that while my parents and everyone supported my Huckabee, and I said I voted for my Huckabee, who I actually supported in 2008 was Ron Paul.
Were you worried that he may have been recruiting you for his Zodiac killings?
I have known for years later I might have been his next victim. I was, thank goodness I didn't do it.
Was this before or after your internship?
Oh yes. So what Phoney is referring to is my internship at Focus on the Family, which I did in college. So this would have been before that.
Okay.
What kind of phone did you have at the time?
Oh, what? Like I did not like phones at the time, so I still had like a brick. People had the slider ones. I didn't like the slider ones because my fat thumbs can't do the ones with the slider keyboard. So I had.
No, we love
Phoney. Cell phones.
You didn't
I
like
should
cell
say.
phones.
I didn't like cell phones. I liked you phone.
Perfect.
We had a rotary phone growing up that I loved actually. So no, I love those, but I did not like brick phones.
Eric, oh my god.
Full circle.
Wow.
So was this like a continued conversation you had, or was it like just a one shot? Like, hey, thanks for coming in, and I would like to talk to you more.
No, one shot.
Okay.
No, during college was sort of my like breaking away, and then for not like a little closer, my parents did end up supporting Ted Cruz when he ran in 2016. So not Trump, but not that much better.
The other T.
That is true. But yes, thank God I caught the woke mind virus. Specific Andrew, as he said. Any other questions that you have?
Do you still have his phone number?
That phone is unfortunately that phone is long in a drawer that got, I don't know, put somewhere. Maybe my parents have it buried. But yeah, no. Thank goodness. Let's lose my number, okay? New phone, who dis?
Fair.
I'm gonna turn it on. I'm just gonna find a bunch of Simpsons impression like files where it's that were sent to me.
MMS messages.
Potatoes has a question of why did he have your phone number instead of an adult at the church?
Because my youth pastor's fucking crazy. Like I didn't ask for it. I didn't sign up for it. I just got the text message after. I'm guessing he just like was saying, "Hey, I just want to send a message to those students or whatever, just
those
to like
up and coming rising stars of the church type."
Yeah.
Okay.
This is I would
say
like.
I got involved in a lot of different weird and because I was homeschooled, we also did civically minded stuff. So I didn't think any of this was weird. I did not think this was weird. And again, truly from an innocent place. And I don't think they're like, I'm not implying anything untoward, in regard to what was happening there. It just was like, again, it's
no,
weird,
but like,
but yeah.
I find the idea of any like public official texting any high school student so viscerally uncomfortable that I'm like, this needs to be fixed.
Your body.
At the same time, that sounds like the most true thing.
Yeah.
The most plausible thing we've heard all night.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm so upset.
Yeah. So we're gonna get some guesses on there. Let's start with Erin, we got yours, so then let's go to Void, your thought on it.
It's tough. It's certainly plausible, but I also the not like really knowing what kind of phone you had at the time and not being into phones seems weird to me, especially with being homeschooled. I feel like if you had a phone, you would have been all in on it. You would have had that T-Mobile sidekick. You would have been living the high life. And I just don't buy it. I'm going to say lie.
Okay. Vronnyka, what do you think?
I'm going to go with truth. Very plausible that you'd have any politician of that particular nature to be like, "Hello, child. How are you doing today? Would you like to work with me in the future?" You know,
just
And-
fishing.
you know, considering that in 2024 we still have politicians getting caught on Twitter for doing weird stuff.
For liking for step porn, sister porn, or cousin, whatever it was.
So I can totally see this as Ted Cruz going, "Yes, I really liked meeting you. Let's hang out," and you going, "No," and then just completely ghosting him. Truth for me.
Okay, Steph, your thoughts.
I was like leaning towards false, but my carbon monoxide poisoning pal over there.
The bar for what is true or not has been like way back and forth tonight.
Yeah.
I have a hard time being like, why would you lie about this? So I think I'm gonna go true just for the chaos.
Okay, so Blog, what is your thought, team captain, and decision?
Wait, did Erin go yet?
Yeah,
Erin does not want it to be true at a
Right, on principle, the world that I want to live in says it's not true.
Gotcha. So you want to say it's not, and Steph, you say you think it's true.
You got a split team. Same
Got a
to the
split
league.
team.
Yeah, we do
I
too.
trust my fearless leader, blogthoven.
I gotta go with my gut. Again, I feel like this is the most plausible story. I very much believe that Ted Cruz in 2000, whatever we said, is definitely, he thinks he's really cool and hip when with people, and I just feel like Republicans are going to be gross towards minors and young people in general. So I feel like it's true.
All right, and Phoney, your thought.
It feels very plausible that they would try to sort of foment support within the church leadership, like that if you're being groomed for church leadership, they would sort of reach out to you, especially with it being Huckabee.
But I feel like he would have done the Simpsons impressions.
That is the
feel
thing
like
that makes me
done
not
them.
100% sure. I feel like there would have been a ahoy hoy Ted here.
Yeah.
But would I have got the reference?
I had a perfectly cromulent time. Like, I feel like...
What if it was full of references that just went completely over?
Your work embiggens the spirit of America.
Like, you're quite good at turning me on. What does that mean?
But so I with a divided team, I think I do have to say true.
All right. There are two truths on here. Well, just like separation of church and state, have we separated the truth from reality here? Erin,
Should've
thank
trusted
God we live in your world. It
Thank
is
God.
There
So much
was
of it is bad. I just needed this one thing.
there were half truths within there, but I absolutely have never met. Let me put for the record here: I have never met Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz has never texted me. He did not have my number. Some of the caucus stuff was vaguely true, but no, that is not true at all.
Did you have a phone at the time?
No, I did. Yes, and I also don't remember what it was. I didn't care about phones that much. I was truly homeschooled. I was so homeschooled. Yeah.
I still wanted to play the bowling game on my Sony Ericsson.
Yes, no, that was a lie there, and I'm scared that I told that convincingly.
I had an Imperial March ringtone.
I mean,
yeah.
it says a lot.
But I don't blame you for believing it.
Yeah, it says a lot about Ted Cruz and
yes, more so. That's I think what was interesting about it was that part than not. So, all right, we have that one out of the way. That is no points to either team. We are moving to our next person of the evening who will be reading a statement from Team Phoney tonight. That is Boyd.
First, before anything comes up, if you're Team Awesome, we're Team Badass. That's just going to be how it's going to go.
Team Badass. There we go. Team Awesome and Team. Okay, so here we are. The statement is...
Whilst in Catholic school, I got caught breaking a commandment, thou shalt not steal. Take questions.
There it is, from one fake story about church activity to a new story involving the Catholic Church. So, all right, team, awesome. You are now allowed to question Void.
What did you have nuns, or did you have monks, or no order?
There were nuns on site, like hanging out and convent stuff, but they didn't teach us. There were like regular teachers, and then nuns were just hanging out. We had nuns on retainer.
Oh, so what did you steal?
It was a compact disc.
Okay, what was on the compact disc?
It was an imported Wiggle CD. Special edition.
No further questions.
Do you know what was special about the edition?
I was in having to write apology, like board style. Bart Simpson learned that it were hard to come by at the time in the U.S., and it had to be imported from Australia, where the Wiggles are from, of course. Mm-hmm. So it was just a sort of expensive, hard to come by CD.
So wait, how old were you?
I would have been... How old are you in, like, the 6th grade? 5th, 6th grade? 5th grade.
10.
Like 11?
It's 10, 11.
Would have been around there. 12 years ago.
What saint was your Catholic school named after? What was it?
That's a heavy dox.
I mean, is it? There's a lot of saints.
Okay.
Is it a real fancy saint?
No, he's an Italian saint, Vianney. Vianney. And they actually spelt it wrong on the sign.
That's interesting.
Now, who caught you stealing?
I got... no one caught me per se. I was narked on. Another student told on me.
Oh, okay. Were you... I'm literally asking questions. Were you friends with the student?
I don't even know who it was. I just know it was an upperclassman.
Mm. I was going to say, did you have to have an unfriendship from that point, but a secret. Erin just
want to talk to him.
Just want to talk to him.
Yeah, I'd love to have a conversation with him.
Where did you steal it from?
It was from a music class.
Oh, okay.
They had we had like Peter and the Wolf and your classic Disney sing-along stuff, and then they had this Wiggle CD for some of the younger kids. And I didn't even want to keep it. I was just going to rip the CD and bring it back, but I got caught before I got the chance to do that.
So okay, then all right. So it wasn't like from a store or something. Got it.
No, it was from the school.
Okay.
Maybe I'm naive about the Wiggles, but I feel like 12 is pretty old to listen to the Wiggles.
I still listen to the Wiggles. I'm 37 years old.
Well, I was gonna say, is it because you have kids though?
Yummy.
Yeah, I agree.
Fruit salad hits. I don't know.
I mean, like, I love the Wiggles.
Okay, well, I stand corrected.
I don't know if I would steal
The
from
Bop's
them.
a Bob.
What's your favorite Wiggle song?
I mean, salads, like, I don't even know any of those songs. I'm going to be real with you. I was taking the CD as a bit. Like, I don't even know anything about the Wiggles. It was like the cool, ironic thing to have this CD. It was the era of burning CDs and making mixed playlists, and I wanted the Wiggles deep cuts to have the cool, ironic tracks.
Highly suspicious. favorite Wiggles song.
I don't know much about Wiggles lore. I just know I wanted the deep cut. You know, when you're in the era of LimeWire, when I was ripping CDs from libraries and anyone's iPod I could get my hands on, I just was compiling anything I could get, and that rare Wiggles CD.
I guess all I have to say is toot toot chugga chugga big red car. That's all.
Big red car.
I think now, whether this is a true or a lie, we do need a Things from the Void remix involving the
Yes,
Wiggles.
agreed.
After this story.
1,000%.
But the important question for tonight's proceedings, is that story true or is it a lie? Do you have any other questions before you make your decisions? Team Awesome.
No.
And it can be no. If you think you have your mind made up, that is okay.
What are the names of the people in the Wiggles?
I have one after blogs. Yeah.
I mean, if I couldn't name a song and you think I could name the Wiggles, I just know that there were shakeups. Like, there were people who left. There's like the original Wiggles, and then there was like the new like imposter Wiggles that aren't quite the same. I don't even know why they changed, but I couldn't name.
There's a Defunctland episode on why they changed, because I've seen that. Steph, your question. And
My question for you is more on the Catholic school side of things.
Sure.
What was your confirmation name?
Is that not doxing? Or
I'm so glad you
It's
asked.
not doxing.
Because it's just I dodged confirmation. I didn't do it.
You didn't do it.
If you want the long story, I went to one Catholic school from preschool to 6th grade, and at that school, 7th grade is when you were confirmed. We left that school. I went to a different school in 7th grade, and at that school, they had done it in 6th grade.
That is such a good answer.
Did that single-handedly change your mind, Steph?
I never know what fucking year they do it. It seems to vary from school to school. I buy that.
We didn't do confirmation until high school.
What?
Yeah.
I've heard.
Yeah. My confirmation was in, I think, like 10th grade.
That's so late.
Yeah. I did go to a private
Your
Catholic boarding
confirmation
school run by Benedictine monks, so I don't know that we did things the regular way.
No,
Odd that you would do later, though.
We did 6th. We did 6th grade, but a lot of places did do 7.
I will throw there. I got confirmed when I was in 10th grade, but that's because I'm Jewish and that's when we do it.
Oh, that is fair. Okay, yeah. So now let's get those decisions in. You kind of have some idea there. Quickly, Steph, true or false? What do you think it is?
My life is topsy turvy right now. The confirmation question just got blown out of the water. I don't know.
All right. Okay.
Lie. I don't know.
Okay. Erin, your thought.
I'm actually gonna say I think it's true.
Okay. And Blog, your decision. You have a split team.
This is tough. I was hoping the team would decide it for me.
Sorry.
Go
with Erin because
I
just pick a random.
Oh, but I don't have any good reason why I think it's
I'm
true.
gonna go with true because I do totally believe, and if he's lying, he did a good job of picking a good lie. I do totally believe that Void was just grabbing any sort of CD that he could to acquire it and burn it and bring it right back, because why wouldn't you? It's just free content. Why wouldn't you just do it?
Okay. Well, we have that locked in there. Let's see whether or not that was the truth or a lie. There, right, look at it. True story.
There it is.
I'm not taking credit for this. Good job, team.
Incredible.
Wow.
Incredible details.
Yeah.
Listen to the Wiggles.
I was leaning toward true. I was leaning toward true when the doxing part came out, but I'm also like, That is a great detail to catch on and not be able to have to say.
That is a dated ass Wiggles picture. Where's the girl? Is
that the cover from the special EP?
I'm so glad I was on Void's team because I think he has told me that story before.
All right. We are now going to move on to our next player. That is going to be Erin from Team Awesome.
Team Awesome.
Woo. The magic of the bumper. Boo, 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 boo.
Whoa.
Oh, look at that.
Oh my god.
We'll get some Xena. My favorite thing is I know why those are uploaded at all, and that was not intentional whatsoever. So here we go, Erin, with your statement.
I was accidentally a contestant on a reality competition show and still did really well.
There it is. We are going to now have Team ask the questions about this reality show reality.
What show?
It's okay. It sounds more impressive than it is if you actually explain it, because it's just like a local, like public access style show called Chicago Sings. Yeah, so good for me.
How far did you make it?
I made it through the first round, which I count as pretty good because they only picked 16 people for the like initial thing, and so then I got to move through, and then they cut it down to 8, and I didn't make it there past that.
How did you accidentally do this?
It was just a karaoke night, I thought. So I went and I signed up, and I was just doing my thing, and then it became clear a little later in the evening that I was competing, not just having a good time.
What public access station was it on?
I don't have regular TV at all, so I don't know the stations.
Was this recent?
The year after pandemic. So is that 3 years ago now?
So
yeah, 3 years ago. Jesus God.
3 years ago can be 12 years for some people.
I have listen, my mom said the greatest quote for me about time, which is, for you time is not linear, it's buckshot in a wall. So
what did you sing?
I sang Janis Joplin and Maybe, which is a really tough song. I was feeling real bold.
You didn't have to sign something to be on the show?
Yeah, but not until after, because they were like, we're taping and stuff, but like for the first round, they just were taping, and then they only were going to get the signatures from people who got voted on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so there was just initially a karaoke night, but they wouldn't need your signature unless you were one of the ones selected, because they would have cut it down.
Right. And so when they made the announcements that, like, hey, you're going to come back next week and you're going to sing again, at that point they had us all come up on the stage, and then they filed us over and had us fill out these papers.
And was the karaoke night filmed?
I guess so, but like, I wasn't paying, like, truly, I was just having a good time and probably an extra drink. And so, yes, it was, but like, not like a big studio or something, you know? Wasn't like there was a man right there with like a crane or something.
So was there a host, like a local celebrity host?
No.
So you just kind of walked in here and then was just like, oh, there's people singing. I'm going to go sing too.
Yeah, there was like, I mean, to be fair, there was an MC, but if it was somebody famous, I don't know who they are. So. we walk in, they've got the MC, you sign up, you sing, and then they're like, you know, okay, great. The people moving on are, and they call the thing, and then they had us come back the next week.
To avoid phrasing this in a way that makes you dox, what type of venue was it? Was it like a studio, a bar?
A bar. Just fully a bar.
So you went out with like your friends into a bar. You saw a guy with a microphone going, and next up. You got up there, you sang, and then the next week you were eliminated.
Yeah, after I sang the next week, I was eliminated. Yeah. I mean, I should put into context, when you're thinking reality show, you're thinking like big budget reality show. The winner of this competition was going to get $1,500. So it's not like it's a crazy big thing, you know?
So how many times did you sing?
Twice. The ones that I didn't know I was competing, and then the ones when I did know I was competing.
So what was the second song then?
Oh, so the first time I sang Janis Joplin, and the second time I sang Melissa Etheridge.
What song?
Come to my window. Obviously. I feel like you have to ask.
I'm gonna ask the song to Melissa Etheridge. Everyone sings "Come to My Window."
But if she had said something else, that would have been a sign.
Maybe that's why she got eliminated. She sang part of other songs.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, we've heard it so many times."
Basic.
And I was like, "I'm just trying to do karaoke. Leave me alone."
Oh, that's rough. Imagine that was like the reason you got eliminated.
I mean, honestly, fine, because I did not have another 3 weeks to dedicate to the process.
Team Badass, do you have any further questions for Erin about her accidental public access stardom?
No.
No? All right. So we know the statement, we've heard the story, but is it true? Vronnyka.
You haven't guessed
Didn't guess! Oh no!
I'd like to guess a lie. I truthfully was leaning lie beforehand.
So was I.
Oh my word!
I swear on my receiver, I was leaning lie because I don't think any public access has that much money to give out.
You're muted, LG. You're muted, LG.
I hit the wrong button, but you can guess.
What do you mean by you hit the wrong button?
You hit the wrong button or the wrong button?
I just hit the button, a button at a wrong time, and it's intentional, and what's the hey, get those guesses in.
Yeah, get those guesses in. So, Phoney, do you think that was true, or do you think that was a lie?
I mean, I think it was a lie.
Okay, you got it confirmed it's a lie. Let's see. Get those results in.
What? Wait, but which of those is accurate?
It's not true.
It's a lie.
Okay.
No, I was modeling my entire story after a poster I saw of a karaoke competition.
Amazing. Amazing lie. I actually believed it. I thought that sounds plausible. I did radio sponsorships, and one of them was like a Got Talent type thing. And so I was like, yeah, I've heard about events like this before. I could see it happening.
I feel like there wouldn't have been multiple weeks if it was a local no budget thing. It would have all been filmed in one night and broken up. That's what really threw it off for me.
The
I was gonna
poster,
ask
the
where the
poster
$1,500
implied
came from.
multiple weeks, so
I was gonna ask about the $1,500 and who was a sponsor, but then I'm like, I'm not competing. I don't want to throw Erin under the bus with that.
The rights thing was also what got me, because having it together enough to make them sign the waiver, but not from the beginning.
Right.
Yeah. I realized my.
But I've also worked enough events to know that could plausibly happen.
That was but they would. Yeah, that was not impossible.
Yes. Amazing. Well, I think we are going to be now getting to our final round of the evening. It is one more truth or a lie statement from our last player who has not provided one, and that is Vronnyka.
Yay.
All right.
I paid my good friend to shock himself with a dog collar on air during a live stream, causing him to break a plate.
Oh, break the plate in that picture. There it is. Okay. Is that a true statement or is that a lie? Questioning may begin from Team Awesome.
What was the live stream?
So it was a YouTube live stream. This happened, I think, about 2 years. Will be 2 years ago this summer. Did you want the streamer name? Is that what you wanted?
How old were you then? I'm just kidding.
I was old then. I'm old now.
It's 12 years ago, blog. You know that.
Definitely 12 years ago.
Why was the plate? Were they holding the plate?
So they were holding the plate, and it was towards the end of the stream, and he was holding it like this, so someone that called in could read the back of the plate, and they were reading it horribly, and I wanted to go to bed, so I paid a good amount of money to shock him with a dog collar and have him break the plate, just for entertainment purposes, because I wanted to go to bed.
What kind of a shock collar was it? Like a dog shock collar when they bark?
Yeah, it's a dog collar that he had set up where if you donated a certain amount of money, it was a certain level of a shock. And
How much money was it? What was the dollar amount for that to happen?
I think I paid like $80 just for him to stop.
Dog collars that will shock a dog if you pay money?
No, we're not shocking dogs. We shocked him.
Shocking humans.
Humans, no dogs.
I think the implication is they rigged it up to do this. This is not a normal function.
I get so worried about where the internet has gone.
There was no animals being harmed besides my friend.
The human animal.
So it is a dog collar used for electric fences. So he rigged it up so if you donated a certain amount of money, it would switch to a power level, and it did cause him pain.
Did he break the plate like with his head or with like dropping it?
He was shocked. He was not expecting a shock, but he was like hoping someone would do it. He was not expecting it at all. And I didn't have money for like the maximum amount, so I went for the level below, and it surprised him. So he just jerked it up in the air, and it came down, and you can hear it on the stream, the breaking of the plate.
If this is true, I hope we have a clip of it.
I noticed looks like there's a bottle cap there. Does that have any significance to what was going on?
It is significant to the particular lore of the stream, yes.
Got it.
Why have you made that taping effort?
I did
Why?
not make it, so he sent it to me. I broke the plate on stream and I sent him a message afterwards because we're at this point we've become really good friends. We still are great friends now. I'm not part of the community as much. But I sent him a message saying, "Hey, I really want that plate just for shits and giggles. I really want it." And he goes, "Okay." So
You didn't have to donate more money to get the plate?
No. So so we made this exchange that he's in a different country than I am. And I had sent him merchandise because he got into the band Ghost, and I love Ghost. I've been a huge fan of them for a really long time. And I went to several concerts over the year that he discovered it because they were doing their Impera tour. And I was like, "Oh, if you send me money, I can get you merch from the tour that is tour specific." Because normally what Ghost does, they wait until like a couple years to release the merch onto their website. And I wanted him to have an opportunity to get it now. So he's like, "Yeah, absolutely." Like, in exchange, I want that plate. That's all I want. You send me the money, I'll pay for the shipping to send it back, but I want that plate.
Look at that
shirt. Yeah, hey, relevant.
Which shirt was it? I missed it. Go back.
Void, can you make a Ghost Wiggles?
Please do a Ghost Wiggles remix. I would be so happy.
Please just do more with the Wiggles. But
absolutely.
Did you go to sleep after?
Oh, I did. And it was a wonderful sleep, but it was filled with giggles because he would send me a message. He goes, "I can't believe you fucking did that." I'm like, "I wanted to go to bed, bro. Okay." I'm tired.
Was that plate of any particular importance before being broken?
Yes. It was so a year and a half prior to that stream, maybe not a year and a half, maybe a year to a year and a half, I can't remember, because he streams so infrequently, it's hard for me to keep track of the dates. We had a thing called the plate sale, and what he did was he went to a thrift store and bought a whole bunch of Jesus plates and put them on the wall so we could buy the plates for more than what he purchased.
I have the same question as Single Walk Ron, because I want to better understand how the system goes between donation to shocking.
Sure.
Can you specify the question?
Yeah. So like when the donation was made, was it rigged? So like, okay, we triggered that donation, and now the alarm's going off, or did there had to be a human element to cause the shocking?
It was automatic, so it's set up like a Streamlabs donation. Like, you have the donation, and then like your thing pops up going, "Thank you for donating $10," something like that. So it was something very similar to that. You had your animation on the bottom, but the way that he rigged it, was he had these. I am not a tech person. But the pictures that I see are these boards, and there's wires everywhere, and it's set up so you donate, and then depending on the amount you donate, you get shocked that particular level. I think it was like $120 for the maximum, which I've done a couple times just to really piss him off, which was really funny.
All right. We are getting that fax signal. Any last questions from Steph, Blog, or Erin before we get our final result for the night?
Does he still do it? Does he still have that option to get shocked on stream?
I want to say yes. Again, I haven't been in the community for a while, but I do know that he hasn't streamed in a very long time due to him having some personal issues that I don't really wanted to know. But I mean, he told me eventually, but it's just like, like when someone says I'm having a bad day, but then they don't tell you exactly what happens until like a week later. it was stuff like that. So I'm still getting details of what's been going on in the past couple years.
Okay. For the last time, we're going to go. Erin, what are your thoughts on this story? Do you find it plausible, or do you think it is?
I am leaning towards true. Mostly, I think because of how quick the answer was about the plate backstory, but I'm up for whatever.
Okay, Steph.
I'm also leaning true. Like, why do you have that picture of that plate? I don't know.
I could have pulled it from his website.
No, it's valid. I also like to go to sleep, so I like that part of the story. So I'm gonna vote true.
It's true because I wanted to go to bed.
Hell yeah.
That's the premise of it.
Relatable.
It's believable. Blog, you have 2 truths from your teammates, but you
can
get the final decision.
veto us, Blog.
Yeah, feel free.
My team has done a good job. They've been doing a better job than I have. I personally think it's false. I feel like the logistics of a donation immediately leads to an electric shock seems dangerous and implausible, but let's say it's true.
And the only reason I would oh, never mind. Okay, if you would, okay. I was gonna say the only reason I might go false is because I know how complicated it is to ship any kind of merchandise to another country.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there it is. We believe it is a truth. Do they get that final point or not? Zip, zap, zop. It's
Great job,
true.
Fucking A!
So I thought it was probably true too. But we do.
Oh, we have footage.
Oh my god.
Dogstein! Oh no! No. Wow.
Where is
the
dog?
now, can we?
Where's the collar at?
Yeah, where's the
So
collar?
the collar, I debated on sending this picture, but the collar, how it is set up is that it is on his thigh. In the middle of the show, he had to eventually switch to his other thigh because we were shocking him so much.
Oh, no.
So in the first stream that he introduced, he gave all the moderators, and I'm part of the moderating team on his YouTube channel. He gave all the moderators free codes that we would put in for a donation, and it could be whatever amount. And my ass put a full level 5. And in the very, very first stream, which I wish I had the clip because I can't find it within the stream. I know it's there. I'm just too tired. But the very first time I did it, he's just like, hey, Vronnyka, why don't you do it? And my name at that time was Swamp Witch because I have green hair, and it was my little thing on his stream. And I'm like, oh yeah, cool. Yeah, whatever. So I did a level 5, and you can see the absolute fear in his eye when he did it. So for people that think I don't have the plate,
there it is.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I will also say, because people in chat mentioned it seems like a Geth thing, and the battle cat really made me think this is a Chris Gether thing. That
it
was
is not.
that was used as a lie that you had to figure out a story around.
So that is part of so my friend is Richard Burnish. He did the Jesus chat line back in 2010, back when 4chan would rate him on these different things, and that's how I found him. I didn't reconnect with him until the pandemic happened through another streamer, and didn't realize that they were friends. So all 3 of us are pretty close friends now. And the dad's cream is part of the lore, and it has to be very specifically the orange cream soda. So he sent me a bottle cap because it's very hard to find that particular soda in my area. and he just kind of threw in the bottle cap because he's like, well, if you want to hang the frame, you can put this in like a shadow box or something, and it could be like your whole thing. And I'm like, oh, that'd be great. So he sent it to me, but I didn't make the shadow box yet because I renovated my house.
Amazing. That's an incredible story. I need to thank all of our panelists and contestants and everyone who participated in the chat and everything tonight. And to Argyle for producing this, for making such an amazing special. This was incredible.
Thank you.
Our winners for tonight is everyone, but our team winners is Team Awesome, who got the most things correct. But really, truly, we are all winners. This was an amazing special. Amazing lies to our liars. Amazing truths to our truthers. Incredible. And we are going to be starting very soon with our interdimensional trivia with Fluval. I know it's going to be popping here soon. Next week, though, we got to pick our topic. blogthoven, what do you...
Oh my God.
Everyone, from what we've talked about, what do we think we should discuss next week?
Last week, I did throw out James Bond out there, but I don't think I want to do that.
Oh, yeah, James versus Bond. What about prom night? Do we need to talk about proms and
we can watch more of that video.
We have to edit Yakety Sax over that video for sure.
Please,
Absolutely.
please.
安排了戏剧性的出场秀。
You know what? Let's call our shot. Next week is going to be prom night for the former random. So,
Can I just say something really quick?
Absolutely.
The freaking bombs have been the best thing I've ever seen all night.
All Argyle.
They
Absolutely.
were amazing.
They
Every
put
time
so
they
much
pop up, I'm like,
They've been so good.
They have been.
It's a whole extra
So
level.
good.
I mean, truly, Argyle, I think this might be the best episode we've ever done.
Absolutely.
So much fun.
It's been fun. And thank you again to our guests. Thank you to our Erin and Vronnyka specifically for joining our craziness here within our stream. It was so great to have you. Do you have
wonderful.
Quickly, do you have anything to plug while you're here?
So as my introduction said, I do have a VTubing stream. As of right now, I am on a life hiatus due to my dad was passing away and I had a whole bunch of different issues. So I will probably be coming back, I think May or June this year, but I do not know if it's going to be a VTuber or if it's going to be VTube to Flesh.
Oh.
Well, we look forward to you streaming in any way, shape, or form. Thank you again for joining us.
I'm super excited. Thank you for having me. I had a lot of fun. You guys are so much fun to watch and when I can catch you. So I'm glad to be part of it tonight.
Yes. And Erin, next time I'm in Chicago, I need to come see Late Night Caddick. His
don't come this weekend. I won't be there. But yeah, and that's all that I have going on right now. But I guess you could follow my Instagram at Rin Olsen with no E at the front, at Rin Olsen, and you'll get to see pictures of my cats. And when I am doing stuff, I'll post it on there.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me. This was super fun.
And StephGerm, of course, we have Deep Space Wine with the Planet Scum server. What are the episodes? Oh, yes, and Friday.
Our extravaganza.
The extravaganza. Season 3 starts.
Woo!
So absolutely join that.
Watch that because I'm on it.
You can also listen to our episode on the West Wing on the MissiInformation Superhighway when we covered the Sorkin streak. My wonderful West Wing expert. Fantastic.
Walk and talk.
Walk and talk.
Things from the Void. We love your stream.
Great hat.
Sensitive artist type. Look at that hat.
I had to switch when I saw you come in.
Beautiful hat.
We think of you as obviously one of our sister stations. We stream Baldur's Gate together. But anything specific you want to plug? You dropped a song yesterday. Collab with Little Sentient Radio, correct?
Yeah, on yesterday. You can find that and all of our stuff over on either on the Twitch or sensitiveartist.club's, our website. You can find this other hat I was wearing on there, all kinds of stuff.
Wow.
Check it out.
Amazing. Vlog, you and I next week are going to be up to our same old bullshit.
I'd like to plug something real quick.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yes.
I would also like to plug Air Extravaganza. I have
Yes.
involved it with this Friday, but I mean the germs. You gotta
come out.
take it. I consider myself a friend of Steph. That's for sure.
Yes, as all should be.
And I know we're running late, but R.I.P. the Phone Ranger.
R.I.P. the Phone Ranger, as always.
Rip.
Man, I'm following you now on Instagram. I'm going to see those beautiful cats.
I'd also like to plug something. Check out our extravaganza, because we'll be submitting something.
Fantastic. We have crossed into the void now. I feel the trivia energy starting.
The Truth Reloaded.
It's Truth Reloaded.
Stay tuned for Matrix trivia.
Stay tuned, everyone. Take that pill. Take that flu
Get
pill.
flu
and get ready.
pilled with Matrix trivia.
We're going to extract you from your pod. We're going to put you down like a big sort of a toilet like thing, and we're going to flush you down.
Yes.
And then we're going to inject you. Yes. And then we're going to put you on a table so that you can gain your senses.
The Matrix has happened in many cycles.